Today, 2nd of May 2025, was a day of joy as men and women with disabilities in the area of Chibrara, Rambia village, Kasese district in the western part of Kasese, gathered together as they meet to discuss a lot of issues as a way of development and bringing back their ability to the mind of the area and seeing how they can become more valuable and more important to the community. Having known that disability is not inability, all the lame men and women that are found in Kanyughunya Full Gospel Church, this is a church without walls, and Walking Witness Adaptive Village that is being sponsored by Life Church Carliston. Pastor Sekawa Kule, the leading pastor of Kanyughunya Full Gospel Church, gathered all the lame men and women, including all those with disabilities, the vulnerables that are unable to stand, unable to walk, those with one legs, one arm, together to bring them together and give them more hope. They formulated a group that is called Walking Witness Men and Women of Disabilities that is found in the Church of Kanyughunya. These people gathered together as Pastor Seka, the leading pastor of Kanyughunya Full Gospel Church, gave them a word of wisdom, encouraging them and telling them that they can still be able to stand even when they are disability. They are disabled. He told them disability is not inability. And this way, he told them that they are made in the image of God. And in the image of God, God created them the way they are. They should feel relieved, they should feel free, they should accept the situation they are in, knowing God knows them and God loves them in that way they are. Pastor Sekaha went ahead comforting them and bringing their minds together, telling them that even when it seems to be hard, even when it seems to be unable and difficult, but God has chosen them. He gave them an example of Moses. He told them Moses was a stammerer. He could not be able to speak, he could not be able to talk very well, but God used him in that way. So he gave them a word saying, even when they are lame, even when they have no legs, even when they have no arms, but God is still able to use them the way they are. So he gave them more hope, he gave them more confidence, and he made them to feel like humans. Pastor Sekawa, the pastor to Kanyughunya Full Gospel Church that is under Adaptive Village and the Church Without Walls, being sponsored by Life Church Carliston, he told them everything that happens, God made them for a reason, and He has a reason to why He made them to be so. So they should be grateful and thankful to the Lord. The fact that these people are lame, but they're still able to stand and make sure that they bring forth their dream. Here we found them preparing, doing activities such as basket weaving and so many other, and making charcoal stores from little materials they have. And Pastor Sekawa has encouraged them to use the little they have, to use the simple materials they can be able to afford to make sure that they bring something out of their hands. And here we found them preparing and being able to prepare for a charcoal stove that is naturally and African made. Here we found them preparing it for the way. They take a look and see. They use local materials like banana fibers, clay soil, water, and other simple materials to prepare charcoal stones. Their pastor said the following. I'm a pastor in Kanyughunya Full Gospel Church, a servant of the Lord that is serving under Full Gospel Church, and I am one of the ministers that brought the dream of gathering all the lame people together. These lame people are made up of men and women that are gathered from the area and surrounding the church, the villages around the church, those
Mario
within and those
Olopo
around the church that gather together.
Pointi
And
e
so I
Rebecca
gathered all these men
Organization
together to make
Pointer
sure they
Organization
become part of the
Abantu
area and to see
abali
the way
kubalema
to preach the gospel to them and make
Organization
sure they gain
Ekola
something that can be able to make them valuable to the community.
Mahire
So I decided to
Katonda
practice with them
Mukama
how to make
Mulungisya
these
bino
charcoal
byonna
stoves that can be able
ebituleetera
to bring them a mind and bring them
uh,
together. Having had all this from Pastor Sikawa showed us what they do as the lame people in the area. And Pastor Sikawa revealed to us what these men and women do as part of their life that share their experience. These people that are more than 40, made up of men and women, called walking witness people with disabilities that are working under the Church of Kanyughunya Full Gospel Church. They are practicing how to make charcoal stoves. And these charcoal stoves, the best thing of it, they make it from clay. And they said they prepare soil that they cover that soil for 4 days. After mixing that soil with water, that clay soil with water, they will cover that soil for 4 days to make it ready and able not to break as quickly as such. So they close it, they prepare that soil. After closing it for 4 days, they will open it up and then they begin to mold that soil in order to bring out the fashion they need. So they mixed with the soil, mix it with banana fibers, they mix it with other leaves, and they pound those leaves together to make a mixture that they mix together with their clay soil and it forms one mixture. So after formulating it out, they begin to model that soil as to bring out that shape that we are seeing. Pastor Sekawa and one of the executive members of the team, they said this molded soil can be able to last for more than 5 years if it is taken and taken care of. So it's good and well designed for people to use it to a level that it is able to bring out the heat itself the moment you heat it and give it the regulated heat. Pastor Sekawa and one member of the executive, they said they have taken time studying the nature of Kasese. They have taken time studying the nature around the area of Chibudara and Rembia, including including Kanyunya as a village. So they come to know that if they prepare all this, it will bring them together. Because the more they make them, it saves energy, that is firewood, it saves charcoal, it's able to save the time, and they are designed to save at a high speed. So pastor and executive member, they went ahead showing us how they design the things and what work they do as the lame people in the land. So this is being done to make sure they gain an experience being taken as human people so that they should also feel the love of God upon their lives. So these materials, he said, they are taken from a certain distance. They are input, they are brought from somewhere, being brought to where they are being used. So Pastor Sekawa and the other member of the executive said they ultimately use a lot of money as they transport the soil, the banana fibers, the water, and other materials being brought in to purchase, and they make sure they formulate it out in that fashion we are saying. And this being one of the activities they do as lame people, this activity has enabled them to be able to use their hands, to be able to bring out their mind and to keep their mind active in action as they are practicing sharing the work they do together. So as our interviewer was interviewing these people, they said around the area, people have begun to know that even the lame people can still do something. Even the remaining lame people that were still in the surrounding area have also gained the mind of coming to be adopted with them so that they should all join hands to formulate out these charcoal stoves, which I will call the firewood stoves. So they said these stoves of theirs, they are able to use charcoal, they are able to use briquettes, they are able to use firewood at the same time. You can even use firewood, you can use charcoal, you can use briquettes on the same stove, and it will serve at the same rate. Mamaroko, one of the chairman of the executive committee, said the reason to why they decided to choose this kind of work or handwork is because it became more easier for them to apply it, because it does not take a lot of energy to prepare, though it is tiresome for them because they are weak, but it is able and it is more sufficient for them. The more they practice, the more they feel the strength. Though the land, the soil, the water, and the materials are very far from them, but the moment they are they are receiving, they have received these materials on the ground, they feel at hand. So our interviewer went ahead interacting with them, and here they showed us that every charcoal stove, when they make it and they formulate it out, it comes ready when you are using it. They are having no ability and power to make sure that they prepare it like putting it in the furnace so that it can be ready as such. So they use it as a drier soil. The more after getting it dry, that the way they will call it, it's ready. Just because they don't have enough money to purchase the firewood and to arrange the furnace for them to be ready to an international level. Mamaloko, one of the executive members, went ahead explaining that after being ready, they are able to sell this their cost of at an amount of 3K, that is 3,000 Ugandan shillings, just because the people around in the area, they are not yet used of it, and they can't be able to use them just because they lack money. So, but they think and they believe that if they can be upgraded and to be able to formulate something that will come out on an international level, this thing of theirs, this stuff can be bought and at a very good amount that will give them more money to support their needs, to support their requirements, and to support their project to go ahead. So, working witness, men and women of disabilities, they all decided to formulate out this and design it out in their fashion. So they went ahead explaining the way and the benefits of these storms. Let's see and listen to their benefits. In demonstration and demonstrating how this stuff works, here we see Mama, one of the executive members and one of the lame people in the area, trying to show us how this stuff works and is going to set it on fire and how they use it. Mama said they use small sticks. They pick small sticks and then they place it in the fireplace where this stove is made up of, is having three areas, is having the place where is set, the firewood is having an area where the air enters inside as to support the fire to burn. Then it is having a place, this top part, where they place the saucepan. And Mama said this stove is able to store heat and regulate it. Like they were saying, it was set on fire in the morning, and it was still holding that heat until noontime. So when they are setting it on fire, they use regularly these polythene papers, and most of the times they use this dry grass because the polythene papers are toxic, so they change it to grass. So let's watch and see how they set it on fire. here we see our fireplace, our stove on fire, being ready to prepare, being ready to cook anything. And mom said, Mama Luko went ahead explaining that the moment it's on fire, you are able to use that little fuel, that firewood, like two of them, two sticks of firewood. Like you can use that to prepare both soup, that is sauce, you prepare food, you prepare tea, you prepare water. And let's see how Mama uses the stove and how speed it is. Okay, so our brothers and sisters, this same stove that you are seeing, it uses firewood, and you can even still use the briquettes on this same stove because it is having enough space inside that you can put in the briquettes and you'll be able to prepare your food. You can even use the same stove using charcoal. Namakala sanga ningira hali. Yeah, you can even use charcoal also instead of firewood. You can also use charcoal, so it will work as a charcoal stove at that point. When you're using briquette, it will be briquette stove, so it is multi-purpose. So that charcoal stove you're seeing, that firewood stove you're seeing, it's very well and well designed that can work in three aspects: using firewood, using briquettes, using charcoal. So they all fit in. So it is such a good stove. You can just get one, contact us, and be provided with water. Here already our water is ready. Our water is very ready. It has just taken just less than 2 minutes, and you can just see the bubbles. It's already ready. Take a look at this. You can see that this thing is so good. It makes things easier. So later you namauka bohereriko chinawiti omwanya owere buhamu. Now we are seeing here, this is the place as you're all seeing. Now behind here there is a space that is designed purposely so that no one should disturb ukabuhamu. So this stove is very faster at preparing. We can see that it has not taken more than 2 minutes. The moment it's set on fire and gets up, it gets heated, it becomes very quick and faster. So Mama went ahead explaining that this stove is. So she went ahead explaining that this stove, the moment it is set on fire, it becomes good and very hot. So this supports the quickening of the work. And he went ahead saying this stove is not already made to its fullest because it is still lacks to be burnt to be ready. For it to be ready must pass through the fire, like they set something like a furnace or a kiln so that they could burn it like how they burn bricks, so that it comes out as ready like a brick. So as per now, because they lack money and they have no enough capital, they only sun dry them. So after sun drying them, they use them that way. And they believe that the more they are setting it on fire, it will help it to be strong and be hard enough. So Mama went ahead using the stove and explaining that it needs more than 3 million to make them able to make this project stand and go ahead. So they feel like if they are given money in the range of 3 to 5 million to be able to make a kiln or a furnace for these stoves of theirs to be burnt, so that when they are bringing them, they are selling it to a way that they will be able to be strong and able to be strong in the weather like rain, and they're unable to break quickly as such. their project will stand long. So Mama said, at a point you find it is a challenge when it rains. The moment, remember, they are lame. They don't have enough speed to run. Like when it is raining, it becomes a very big challenge for them to carry the stove from one place to another. Yet, since it is not burnt, it can never resist the rain. So the moment it rains, that rain disturbs them, it will end up destroying the stove because the stove is not burnt, it is just sun dried up. So they were calling upon all the helpers and everyone that can stand with them to support them to be able to get the money that can set their stoves into the fire, either into the kiln or the furnace, so that they could be burnt and be ready to be used as real stoves. Here we are seeing how preparation is still moving ahead.